Hello and welcome to Nirmal, ladies and gentlemen. We have with us Mr. Umesh Revankar, MD and CEO at Shriram Transport Finance, joining in. Welcome to the show, Umesh, and a very warm welcome. My first question coming to you over here is overall, if you go to see right now, the challenges that COVID-19 has actually, the challenges it has thrown towards businesses, towards economies, has been huge right now. The crucial perspective over here was as to how are businesses going to manage the working capital need, how are they going to survive, what are going to be their fundraise plans from here on for survival. And one such thing that Shriram Transport has done is that almost after a decade, we are looking to tap the markets with almost 1,500 crore rights issue. If you could just help us understand more details on the same.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you to be a part of this conversation. In fact, the rights issue, let me come to the rights issue straight away, is a very small dilution. If you look at the size, 1,500 crores, and the dilution would be around 8%. So it is not a big dilution, but what we decided was the equity raise was mainly to give confidence to the lenders and rating agencies, because constantly the rating agencies and lenders, they will have some discomfort on whether we'll be able to raise money as and when we require. So best way to demonstrate is to raise some equity, because the moment you raise equity, then the comfort comes in with both the rating agency and lenders. And therefore, even though we are at 18% on tier 1, there's much more than the required statutory requirement or even normal rating agencies requirement. Rating agency normally are comfortable at 14, 15 tier 1, but we felt that we can raise some more and reach to the level of 20% tier 1. That gives them enough comfort. And we decided on rights as the instrument mainly because we felt that the current shareholders need to be rewarded rather than by getting new shareholders or diluting it to the new shareholders when the prices are low. So when the prices are low, if you are able to give some benefit to existing shareholder to increase their shareholding, then it benefits both ways. One is you are keeping your shareholders happy, you are keeping the market happy, you are making your lenders happy, and the amount raised would be very small. It is not really part of a liquidity challenge. Liquidity challenge is basically when the collection becomes a challenge. When collection is difficult, that is the liquidity problem, because you are going to service to your lenders, but you have to, the collection, you have some challenges. So that, of course, we are addressing it totally different.
Right. So where are we going to use the funds?
The funds will be used for deployment because our normal monthly deployment is 3,000 crores. So that will go into deployment, but it will help to strengthen the balance sheet. And stronger balance sheet will give us a comfort to borrow more and lend more.
Right. And with this, what has been the impact of COVID-19 in terms of business? Because last week of March has been a washout for all. The first quarter of FY21 itself, people are not really confident. And majority of the businesses, Umesh, when I talk to, are of the opinion right now that there is a possibility that we will only strive to see break even in FY21. We're not really looking at growth. So for a Shriram Transport Finance as well, what has been the impact of COVID? And now that things have started to open up, what's the revival plan?
Yeah, as you rightly put it, March last week when lockdown was announced, because even though COVID was there, we never really expected a countrywide lockdown, creating a bottlenecks in the supply chain and the logistics, making every activity come to a standstill in a very, very short period across the country. And that was something was totally unexpected, unanticipated. But yes, we felt that maybe April 14 we will open up, but again it got extended. So this extension did create some kind of what you call, I won't say slowdown, total stoppage of business. Then slowly the revival is happening now, post May. Fortunately for us, we were allowed to open our branches from April 20th, if not all branches, but some branches were opened, and we requested that we should be treated on par with the banking service because we are a deposit-taking NBFC. We have almost similar activities that of a bank, and we need to service our customers, both borrowers and the depositors. So we opened our branches effectively from May first week across the country. But yes, it was mostly partial opening because we were opening only in the morning, 7 to 12, as per the local direction, local administrative direction, and making sure that we keep all the COVID-related precautions like social distancing, mask, temperature checking, those people who come into the office, everything. We did everything that is to be done as a responsible citizen. And what we try to do is we try to contact the customers over phone and explain them that office are working, but we expect them to do more transaction through digital mode, because we had a digital platform ready. We had all payment gateways in our digital in our app. So we were totally ready, fully ready for this because post demonetization, we started working on our digital payment gateways, and we have tied up with most of the payment gateways which are available, and that preparedness really helped us. And the typically what we use a call center for, call center we call use for reminding, selling new product or new services, which we decided that let our relationship executive do it rather than call center do it. Because I personally felt that call center activity may not operationalize, because any place where you have more than 100 people coming together and working, that kind of activity is difficult to be restarted. And even giving data to so many people also is a challenging. We felt our relationship executive, we have 17,000 people who are in direct touch with customer in normal working days. And same people, we told them to operate from their mobile, and because they already had a data with them on their mobile. So they were able to contact and talk to the customer. And also, many of the customers were not aware that business is picking up or starting. They all felt that nothing is happening because in front of your state nothing is happening. You mean you feel that across the country nothing is happening, but the all essential goods were moving, and non-essentials also were allowed to move from May first week. And the industrial goods also started now from June onwards. Many of the industrial activities also started. Slowly and steadily, all this supply chain activity and goods movement have started. So our customers being primarily in transportation activity, the transportation activities are normally forced to get restarted when the economic activity revives. and they were able to start their operations. And we also started lending from June. So the first quarter was challenging. We could not lend in the month of April and May, mainly because all the RTO office, government offices were closed. For all our lending activities, the transfer of ownership, hypothecation, all are very important. And the RTO offices have started functioning only from mid-June. So we have completed whatever is in the pipeline. Fresh proposals we have started accepting from June third week. And July, we are now lending. So second quarter, we are coming back with the full activity. But the first quarter was muted. But whatever the customer needed for his working capital requirement or any of his insurance renewals, whatever his requirement for making the vehicle or business operational lives, that we did. So we supported our customers, and that is really helping us.
Right. So with this, what's the sense that you have, especially in terms of where demand is concerned? Because you have auto sales trend, which is now started to improve on a month-on-month basis. So what are the trends indicating if you have to match that with the kind of inquiries that you're getting for financing? Because again, the expectation now, Umesh, is that rural India is expected to bounce back earlier. So you have your tier 3, tier 4, as well as the villages, which are seeing a good bounce back, especially in terms of agriculture as well. So the demand on that front is expected to grow. What is your sense on that front?
Yeah, fortunately, the rural was unaffected. If you look at the first lockdown, 14th, and immediately there was a harvesting time. So that's the time when all the agricultural products come into the market. The all winter crop come into the market, wheat, etc. Once the wheat comes, then you have seasonal fruits, all those things. So activity starts from normally every year from April 14, 15. But this time there was some delayed rain. So most of the output came in May first week. And it was a bountiful in the sense the rains were good. So the output was all-time high. So May was a very productive work in the rural area, and government also, both central and state government, they also procured goods in advance because they also undertook a lot of redistribution or distribution of food, rationing, supply of ration to the migrant labor or poor or people who are not able to work. So because of that, the rural activities were high, and since the government procured and released the money immediately, there was enough money flowing into the rural area. However, they have released in parts, some they got in advance, some they got late. But the rural was never suffered because of COVID. Maybe lockdown had some impact because some in places, even at village level, people stopped moving from inter-villages. But there were all the local administration guidance. But generally, the activities were almost normal in the rural market. And this time, the rainfall being good and also well spread. So, one is good and being well spread. There's a big difference. As on date, they say the acreage sowed is much higher, around 30-40% more than the last year, but we cannot compare. Because last year, monsoon started late, and this time the monsoon started ahead of time and well spread. So we will know how much of the sowing acreage by this month. And my assumption is that it will be at least 10% more than the last year.
Okay.
So that is very, very positive. So rural India, if the activities are level, credit demand, both are quite good as of now. And we expect it to be more than the normal last 3-4 years. Maybe October onwards, because this crop, the summer crop, which is a rabi crop, kharif crop, that will come to the market in October, November. At that time, the demand can further go up. At that time, I feel consumption, because ultimately, if you have the higher income leads into consumption, that will create demand. Right now, I was told FMCG goods demand is quite good in the rural market.
Absolutely.
It should be around 5 to 10% growth over the previous year. That itself is a very good statement, because other than the food grain transportation, fertilizer transportation, seed transportation, this FMCG activity movement will definitely help. But the durable demand, like white goods and consumer durable demand, that comes with higher income, and two-wheeler demand, car demand, tractor demand. These are all demand slowly coming in, but we will see a much bigger growth in the month of October, November. Because that's the time the harvesting happens, and
right.
people get enough cash on hand. And even I feel the low-cost housing, and even that should start getting demand by October, November. Because typically in the rural market, if they have a bountiful, then they start the activity and they want cash in hand. They don't really look for borrowing. And I think that should lead to demand for cement, steel, and some employment in the rural area. And the other demand which is expected from the government is infrastructure related. Government has not spent enough, or rather because of the constraints in the last 6 months on the infrastructure. Right from February, I think government really could not
spend as much. Correct.
So I think by September, once the monsoon ends, government should start spending money on the infrastructure. And that's the time I feel a demand for steel, cement, and all infra-related products, and the consumption, employment, everything should start happening. So the October, November should be the right time to see India back into the what you call positive growth year.
Right. So Umesh, with this, if you have to look at FY21, what are the kind of asset quality that you are looking to maintain? With that, what are the kind of spreads you're looking to maintain? Because currently we need to understand that yes, a lot of borrowers have actually looked out for moratorium from finance companies. Additionally, even NBFCs have taken moratorium for banks. So where does Shriram Transport Finance fit in on the moratorium front right now on both sides? And secondly, what's your anticipation in terms of the asset quality and spreads for the year?
So far, we have not taken any moratorium from the bank because our collection started improving from May. June was good. July looks even better. So we did not even seek any moratorium from the bank. But we did give moratorium to our customers, because my customers are basically dependent on vehicle, whether they're commercial vehicle, tractors, equipment, or passenger vehicles. They all earn and live, and they pay the. So when the earning was challenged, so we felt it is better or prudent to give a moratorium to our customer. Our moratorium was a very open policy, and we offered this to customer, and customers definitely appreciated it. In the month of April, absolutely there's no movement, so very weak on the revenue and the even collection for us. But May, it started improving, and June was much better, and people don't remember that they have taken moratorium. We would have given them 3 months moratorium, but as an earn, we have been talking to the customer and saying, don't delay the payment if you have income, because the interest what you were going to service is going to be much expensive, and unnecessarily a 36 months contract may end up with 42 months, because one is you are taking moratorium plus you have to pay interest. So we have been encouraging them to make the payment. Many of the customers started making the part payment first, because one thing is when they earn, they also want to keep something for a rainy day, because there's an uncertainty and nobody's sure when the COVID impact is going to go away. So they are very clever in that way, because they're all businessmen. Ultimately, when you buy an asset with the loan, you are a businessman. You know how to manage your liability and loan. So they started making the part payment. Then in the month of June, we saw many of them making full payment. July again, more people are making the full payment. So is the nearly 70% of the customers are now paid either part or full. So we are quite comfortable with the way we have moved, our customers have behaved. And I feel that the total normalcy should be in month of September, and that's the time when the moratorium ends. So even if people have taken moratorium, they haven't paid, but the moratorium is available up to August end, and from September, they have to start making the full payment. Since they have already made the part payment, I don't think they will have a burden from September they have to make a full payment every month. That kind of pressure may not be there. And if all the positive things which we talked right now comes into place, then September, October, November, they should be paying normally. So NPA as a number should come down for us. So, and because the moratorium is given, there's no due to be paid, so there is no default. So the NPA should improve. And what we have done as a cautious and conservative approach, we calculated a likely loss or likely the credit cost. Because of the delayed payment, then you have to pay the additional interest. And in our experience, we have seen whenever such incident happens, whenever a customer has to pay the additional interest, their request for waivers would come. And we have a certain calculation to show that this many number of customers are likely to ask for some kind of a waiver. And with that into mind, we have already taken a COVID-related provisioning in the month of March. So, and probably we may have to do it this quarter also. And then probably we are done with it. That's what it looks like. But I can't really quantify it right now because we have a rights issue.
Yeah, and I think no one is able to actually quantify as to what the growth is going to look like in the current year, because everyone is taking it by the month and seeing how the demand is improving, how the situation is improving, and it's a very fair deal because I think you don't really want to go wrong on those fronts. But thank you so much, Umesh, for joining in. Great insights that we picked up. I hope you enjoyed the conversation as well. And it was glad to have you after such a long time. And we will come back to you post the first quarter numbers now. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.